The 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Milwaukee Brewers going up against the Washington Nationals for game number 3 of the series. Final game before the All-Star break, and it is Freddie Peralta on the bump for Milwaukee going up against Jake Irvin of the Washington Nationals. 1:10 first pitch from American Family Field, game number 96 on the season. What do we say we get to the next part? Who's playing in today's game?
Looking up, and it is gone.
It's almost time for the first pitch. Let's see who's in today's starting lineups. It's the LeadOff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan.
Starting with the visiting Washington Nationals, C.J. Abrams leads things off. He is the shortstop today. Alex Call in left field will bat second. Josh Bell, the DH, will bat third. Nathaniel Lowe is at first base batting fourth today. Luis Garcia Jr. at second base will bat fifth. Brady House, the third baseman, bats sixth. Dalen Lyle in right field will bat seventh. Riley Adams, the catcher, bats eighth. Jacob Young in center field, batting ninth, rounding things out for Washington. Now the final game before the break for the Brew Crew. Sal Frelick leads things off in right field. He will bat first. William Contreras is catching. He bats second. Christian Yelich, the DH, will bat third. Jackson Churio in center field, batting fourth today. Bryce Terang will bat fifth, plays second base. Jake Bowers, the first baseman, bats sixth. Andrew Monasterio at shortstop, batting seventh. Eric Haas is catching and batting eighth. Anthony Siegler will be today's third baseman. He rounds things out. He will bat ninth for the Crew. Well, yesterday, what can you say? I mean, Woodruff's return to Milwaukee, that's awesome. Andrew Vaughn might be the best player to ever play for the Milwaukee Brewers. And a walk-off win out of Caleb Durbin. A lot to go over. We do it in the first segment of every show.
Did you miss the last game? Did you miss what was said after the last game? It's time to rewind. It's the LeadOff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan.
Yesterday's action featured the return of Brandon Woodruff to American Family Field for the first time in quite some time after we saw Brandon Woodruff make his return in Miami just in his last start. This is the first time he is back at American Family Field in over 660 days now for Brandon Woodruff, and the scoring was in favor of Washington at first. In the second inning, that's when things got started. Brandon Woodruff would give up a home run to Dalen Lyle, find himself down 1-0. Then in the third, nothing happening again, still for Milwaukee. A second home run given up in the fourth inning to Brady House. It is his first career home run, and it comes off of Brandon Woodruff. But in the bottom part of the fourth inning, the Brewers would answer back. Sal Frelick gets hit by a pitch to lead things off. William Contreras, a single, would have two runners on. Jackson Churio doubles, brings home one run. Why do I not have that highlight in for you? Because that wasn't even the most important double of the inning. Insert Andrew Vaughn.
Vaughn, base hit down the line. Contreras is in. Churio is in. And the magical week of Andrew Vaughn continues in a Brewer uniform.
Andrew Vaughn continuing to stay hot over this stretch. Now it is 5 straight games with an RBI to begin his career for the Milwaukee Brewers. It would be 3-2 after the fourth inning. Heading on later on, that's when Brandon Woodruff settles in. He gets to the fifth inning, gets one out in the fifth. He would go 4 1/3, his final line. His strikeout numbers look incredible as Woodruff goes 4 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 10 strikeouts in his return back to American Family Field. However, he is not eligible for the win. He doesn't get through 5 innings. Jared Koenig comes in, settles things down. So does Nick Mears. Later on in this game, in the 8th, Brady House, again, another 2-run homer, and would give Washington the lead 4-3. His first career and second career home run come in the same game. In the 9th, Grant Anderson came in because it was not a save situation. He walked Riley Adams, a single to Jacob Young, then a sacrifice fly would make it 5-3. Now the Brewers find themselves down 2 heading into the bottom part of the 9th inning. Jackson Churio reaches on an infield single. Christian Yelich walks. Andrew Vaughn, why not tie the game up for him?
Finnegan deals. Vaughn, line drive, right center. This one's going to split the gap. Churio is in. Yelich being waved home. The throw, not in time. We are tied. Andrew Vaughn, who are you?
Andrew Vaughn, a 2 RBI double in the bottom part of the 9th inning, would tie things up 5-5 in the 9th inning. Jake Bowers grounds out to third, but some heads-up base running from Andrew Monasterio would get him an extra 90 feet. Monasterio came in to pinch run for Andrew Vaughn. Terang would be intentionally walked. Then Caleb Clutch at the plate, his third walk-off of the season.
Finnegan deals. Durbin, base hit! And the Brewers win in walk-off style! What a comeback! 6-5 the final! 6 in a row for the Brew Crew!
Brewers win their 6th straight game, come from behind victory number 20 on the season. Grant Anderson picks up the W. 1 inning of work, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks in that 9th inning. He is now 2-3 on the season. Kyle Finnegan down to 1-3 on the year. He gives up 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 hits during that 9th inning. We talked about it. Andrew Vaughn recording an RBI in his first 5 career games. He is the first player in franchise history to do so. Him, Yelich, and Contreras are the only Brewers in 2025 to have an RBI streak of 5 games or longer now. During these 5 games with the Brewers, Andrew Vaughn, 429 batting average, 500 on base percentage, 1,000 slugging during that time, and it's only 14 ABs, so don't freak out too much, but 4 extra base hits, 10 RBIs through the 5 games. The last time the Brewers saw 10 RBIs through the first 5 career games with the franchise, got to go back to Brian Anderson, not the announcer, the player, back in 2023. He's probably going to win National League Player of the Week. He's been absolutely on fire for the Crew. And we mentioned the Brewers gave up 3 home runs in this game and still found a way to win without giving up a home run. When trailing through 8 innings of a ball game this season, the Brewers were 2-36 on the year, just their 3rd victory with those stipulations around them. It is the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Who was the MVP of the last game for the Crew? Who stood out the most? Let's find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
I mean, Andrew Vaughn, 2 for 4, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs in the contest. Has to be today's MVP of the game. Yesterday's game, that is. But Brandon Woodruff, speaking after the game, that's the stuff you want to hear. That's what you want to get to. His final line again, 4 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, but 10 strikeouts in the contest. He faced 18 batters the whole game and then got 10 of them to strike out. Brandon Woodruff, very, very fun night for him. He spoke to the media after the game. Here is Woodruff.
How'd you feel today?
It was different. Yeah, it was almost like driving in, just seeing everybody already starting to tailgate early as I was driving in. I'm coming in behind fans, and it just speaks to how we're playing as a team and as a group, and just the excitement around that as a team, and then just getting in and honestly like being in here and kind of doing my pregame prep and stuff, and kind of just I like to take a nap before I go pitch. So like being by myself and just knowing that like this place is going to be fun, it's going to be loud, and walking out on the field hearing I probably didn't hear as much as I could, but there was a couple moments where I did take it in a little bit and really hear the crowd and the fans, and it was awesome. I mean, it was cool. So it was definitely a special day for me, and in terms of that. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was a huge win for us, and the way we came back there at the end was pretty cool. So try to keep that momentum rolling into tomorrow and into the break, and see what happens in the second half. But yeah, it was a fun day.
Did you notice your teammates let you take the field first?
No, I did not. No, I did not. I just I looked at William and asked him if he was ready to go, and then I just took off. And yeah, I didn't know that, so that's pretty cool. I appreciate that. Yeah.
You can watch it back.
Yeah, I will.
Woody, to hear the ovation, you said I think you heard it right when you came out right away. Just knowing all that you've been through, and both on the field and off here, what did that mean to you? Oh,
it's unbelievable. I have so many people that I have met outside of the field here and just in Milwaukee that have, after the first outing, gosh, a lot of people reached out after that one, and that was pretty cool. And then just knowing, like, getting back to somewhere where I'm familiar, and had a lot of success at this stadium and on that mound, and it meant the world. I mean, it's not rehab is tough, but as fans, they just want to see guys on the field, and like I said, I took it all in, and just really appreciate all the love that you get, and you don't take that for granted, for sure.
What about the pitching today?
Yeah, I tricked them a little bit, I guess. This is kind of how I described early in spring training, like the velocity's something that will come, and believe me, I pay attention to it, because now here the radar gun's right in front of your face, so you can't not see it. But honestly, I just doing what I did in the minor leagues and pitching how I had to pitch there with lower velocities is really helped me here, and having a better game plan against guys and knowing their tendencies and their spots to go to has really helped me just be able to pitch. And I pay attention to the swings, and I kind of noticed early on how the four-seamer was getting by a lot of the guys, so I just tried to pitch off that like I normally do. And was I expecting to punch 10 dudes out? Not even close. But that's part of the game. Some days you have good days like that, and I just try to roll with it. So I knew kind of getting towards the end, the 80 pitch mark there for me, I was starting to get a little tired. I mean, that's just kind of coming off the first one, and there's a lot of things and factored in there, but overall felt pretty good, and I was able to locate pretty well, so that helped me out.
That baby is a grand slam home run.
What was the big hit of the last game for the Crew? Who hit it? It's time for the drive of the game. It's the LeadOff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan.
There was Brandon Woodruff speaking to the media after the game yesterday. Caleb Durbin, the big hit from yesterday.
Finnegan deals, Durbin, base hit! And the Brewers win in walk-off style! What a comeback! 6-5, the final. 6 in a row for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, pretty big hit. Andrew Vaughn could have been up there a couple of times as well, but he didn't have the same media availability, it sounds like, after the game. Caleb Durbin speaking about the walk-off and Brandon Woodruff after yesterday's 6-5 victory.
Start at the beginning, getting to know Woody in spring training and watching him do his work. What's it like for you as sort of new to the Brandon Woodruff experience to experience today?
Yeah, I mean, you hear a lot of stories about him. Obviously, you know who he is growing up. He's, in my mind, a legend in the game. Obviously, one of the best pitchers. So you know that going into spring training, and then you kind of see all the respect everyone has for him in the clubhouse, and kind of what he actually means to this team is really cool. And then seeing it kind of come full circle, and see it on the mound, in person it's really cool.
Did you have an idea of what he meant to the city and the fan base before this?
Not a whole lot. Obviously, when I got here, I did. From the outside looking in, you don't. It's tough to tell, but once you're in it and you're seeing it firsthand, you understand why it's like that. Just because of the type of person he is and everything he went through to get back there. You definitely start to understand why he means what he means to the city.
Does that energy permeate to the ninth? I mean, there sort of was a kind of a buzz all day, wasn't there?
Yeah, I think when he's out there, you feel like you have an edge before the game even started, just because you know that he's going to be out there. And then that continues the whole game. It doesn't matter, what's going on throughout the game. I mean, he's going to obviously did his job keeping us in it. Offense, kind of came on big inning early and then was able to come on strong there late. But that's kind of the energy that he brings that we're able to feed off of.
Does that base running play by Mona in front of you, does that change your approach or what you're trying to do at all?
I told him that. I think that's the play of the game. Him getting to third there, especially ball hit to the left side. Usually you're not able to advance on that, but heads up play on him, knowing how big that is, getting to first completely changes it, because simplifies my approach. Just kind of have to put it in play at that point. Getting the runner in at third, if he's at second with one out, you still have to get a hit. Obviously, ended up getting a hit, but definitely helps simplifying your approach at the plate.
Well, how fun is this week?
Yeah.
I was like, just this, you guys have won in different ways and against good teams, and you're doing it, just different guys contributing.
Winning's fun. Winning's a lot of fun, especially in the big leagues. And I think we have, obviously, we've shown it. One of the best teams, overall. So, a lot of fun. I keep saying that. Baseball's fun in general. It's even more fun when you're winning.
Here is Caleb Durbin speaking to the media after the game. That audio courtesy of Kurt Hogue on Twitter, the Brandon Woodruff sound courtesy of Adam McCalvey. It is the Leadoff Show live from the 1250 AM 105.7 up in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We'll hear from Pat Murphy on the other side. Don't want to wait too long on Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. He's here to give us some of our best bets. If you want to get any action on the game, if you want to find a place to go watch the Milwaukee Brewers in their final game before the All-Star break, Potawatomi Sportsbook, absolutely the place to be. We'll get to Austin Herdina next. It is the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 up in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
See you later.
Let's get the latest on today's odds for the game. What's the best way to go? Let's check in with our expert from the Potawatomi Sportsbook to find out. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Before we get over to Austin Herdina at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, let me run down the Milwaukee Brewers lineup again for you guys here today. Sal Frelick in right field leads things off. William Contreras, the DH, will bat second. Christian Yelich in left field will bat third. Jackson Chourio in center field bats fourth today. Bryce Terang at second base will bat fifth. Jake Bauers at first base bats sixth. Andrew Monasterio, the shortstop, batting seventh today. Eric Haas catching will bat eighth. Anthony Siegler at third base rounds things out. He will bat ninth today for the Crew. Joining the show now, as he does each and every Brewers game, he is Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. He's on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. Austin, how we doing today, my friend?
We're doing very well. How are you? Another Brewer win.
Another one. Yes, 6 in a row now for the Crew. Caleb Durbin just continuing to walk things off every time he comes up to the plate in the ninth with the opportunity. And Andrew Vaughn might just be Barry Bonds. He might just be after this stretch right now. What are you seeing over this stretch now here that's getting you the most excited about Brewers baseball here, Austin?
Oh man, I mean it's everything, right? We're scoring runs, we're pitching well, and just some heroics late in the game. I mean, teams that are going to go deep in the playoffs are teams that can make to win the game at the end of the game when it matters most. And the fact that we're coming up with some clutch hits is pretty exciting.
Yeah, and now just a game back of the Cubs in the standings. They're facing the Yankees today. That's going to be first pitch in about 10 minutes or so here. I'm sure it'll be on TV over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Now, looking at a parlay for the people today. Let's get some bets going in. Let's hit one more time before the All-Star break. Why not, Austin? Looking at the most popular bets from the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Brewers, big favorites again on the money line at minus 278. 1.5 run line has them at minus 130. The over-under set at 8.5 today. Austin, what are you liking today from your most popular bets over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook?
Yeah, the Brewers money line, it is a high price, but I can't go against this streak right now. So Brewers minus 278. I like the under 8.5. I think we're going to get some good defense, some good pitching today. And then another thing, though, is Freddie Peralta. Knowing he's going to the All-Star game, and his strikeout number is 5.5 today. I think he's going to have a good outing, but I don't know if he's going to get 6 or more strikeouts. So I'm actually going to go with his under 5.5. So the Brewers to win, under 8.5, and Peralta under 5.5 strikeouts, and you're looking at 6-1 odds today.
Pays plus 600 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, 6-1, as Austin Herdina said. Moneyline Brewers under of 8.5. Freddie at 5 or less strikeouts. It'll pay plus 600 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Austin, a lot of people there for the Wimbledon final. It's finally here. We made it. It's been 10 weeks or whatever it has been now of Wimbledon tennis. I saw Alcaraz won the first set. How's things going over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook during the Wimbledon final?
Relax, Tommy. It's only been 2 weeks. Yeah, today's the final right now. It's one set apiece. Sinner came back and won the second set. We have it on the big screen right now for people to enjoy. Cubs, Yankees about to start. Got that on. We got just a full afternoon of sports today. WNBA, Wimbledon, Brewers, other baseball games, you name it, so much. So, yeah, if you're not going to the game, come on down to Potawatomi Sportsbook and enjoy the game.
That'll be an awesome evening for sure. Hopefully the Brewers make it 7 straight to close it out in the All-Star break. And then everyone keep an eye on that Cubs-Yankees game. If you're at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, you can watch both at the same time as they're going on. Austin, thank you so much for jumping on today. Have a great rest of your day. We'll be off from the Leadoff show during the All-Star break, so enjoy your little All-Star break as well, too. Have a great one, my friend. And, of course, go Brewers.
Go Brewers.
There he is, Austin Herdina over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. His parlay again, one more time for the people. It is Brewers money line, the under of 8.5. Freddie Peralta under 5.5 strikeouts. It'll pay 6-1 or plus 600 over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Line drive, base hit, down the left field line.
Let's see what the skipper has to say heading into today's game. Let's head to the Coach's Corner. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
It is the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Brewers Nationals. Last game before the All-Star break. Futures game was yesterday. We'll talk a little bit about that. MLB Draft is tonight. Another thing to be cognizant of as a Brewers fan, they're going to pick 5 times today at a point. I think pick 20, pick 32 are their first 2 picks later on in the draft. We'll go over that in our Building a Winner feature as well later on, presented by Ironworkers Local 8. But Pat Murphy doesn't speak on Sundays before the game. We didn't get to play his post-game in the last segment. Here is Pat Murphy's reaction to Brandon Woodruff bouncing back, the walk-off victory, and of course, Andrew Vaughn. It's his week.
I mean, it's about people, man. You know, it really is about people. You got to win baseball games, and you can get on streaks, and you can do things, but people, you know, if there wasn't a player in that dugout that didn't believe Durbin was going to do something good. And if he didn't, they would have said, well, that's just baseball, but we believe he's going to do something good. And every time Yelich is in those situations, he kind of like unobtrusively does something to help us. And when he doesn't, somebody. And then you got Vaughn, who's just in a great spot in his career in that he got a new life with a new organization. It went to AAA, wasn't sure, got the chance to come up, and the kid is just, I mean, I haven't seen a kid come up and put on a week like this, even any of our young guys. But this guy was that hitter. He was that hitter 3 or 4 years ago, you know, and he just wasn't in these environments. And I think he's probably enjoying himself his first week in base, first week here, you know. You know, a lot of good performances, but, you know, Woody, you know, didn't have his best stuff, didn't have as good of stuff, but it punched out 10 in 4 1/3. You know, like, it's pretty impressive. You know, and it's just to think Woody going out there being a pitcher, you know, and that was masterful in that, not feeling great and still giving his team a chance, you know.
How do you think he handled the emotion of today? And also, do you think your guys, the response had a little to do with, like, picking him up?
Well, I know they all respect Woody, you know, and they respect what we got going on, and that's just, you know, for any of us on the coaching staff, you know, that just feels great that the guys kind of respect, you know, like, winning's really important to us, and they respect it, and they a lot of times put themselves second, you know, when it comes to, you know, focusing on the team. You can see on the celebrations. And I think you think of that, you think of all the teams that walk people off, whether they're winning teams or not winning teams. You can't necessarily see it, but I know it because I'm around them every day, and I know where we came from. I know what it was like to open the season 0-4 and go through the doldrums where people are like, what's going on, you know? Yeah, it's just pretty neat.
Stereo to come off the cooler, like you always say, come out of the cooler to take that extra base there in that 9th inning. What does that say about just his ability to stay engaged? Because he didn't start the game, but to come in and have that impact and have
yeah, that's the great thing about having the right people. So this kid every day says, I want to stay in the big leagues, and I'll do anything I can to stay in the big leagues. He plays every position on the diamond. He practices like that, and he's got a seriousness about how he goes about it. So he doesn't get the playing time, but knows if I want to stay here, when I come in, I've got to be a good base runner. I've got to be able to get a bunt down. I've got to be able to make contact. And he's done that for us. I mean, I just love what he's done. And I think sitting in the cooler last year and getting comfortable in the cooler, you know what I mean, helped him handle the cooler this year.
The key to building a winner in baseball is a strong minor league system. Who are the names we should know? How did they play in their last game? It's time for Building a Winner, powered by Ironworkers Local 8. Apply today at IWL8.org and join the Brotherhood building Milwaukee's skyline. It's the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Yes, time for another Building a Winner feature after hearing from the manager, Pat Murphy, yesterday. That audio courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network. What's going on in the minor leagues right now? We start always, as we do every single time, with our Building a Winner feature, AAA.
Nashville Sounds.
Yeah, Nashville yesterday taking care of business over the Durham Bulls. They win 13-1 in the contest. A lot of names we have heard over this season. Blake Perkins, who's on his rehab assignment, went 1 for 4, came around to score twice in the contest. Daz Cameron, Drew Avons, and Jefferson Cuero all hitting a home run yesterday. Cameron's a grand slam, had 5 RBIs in the game. Tyler Black picking up a hit. It was very all-around great performance for the Milwaukee Brewers AAA affiliate in Nashville. Logan Henderson was on the bump, 6 innings of work. He also had 2 hits allowed, 1 earned run in that time. His ERA now 3.01 in Nashville this year. Throw on 7 strikeouts to help the day out for Mr. Henderson.
Biloxi Shuckers.
AA yesterday, not the same results. They fall to the Birmingham Barons 9-5. Luis Lara, however, 1 for 3, came around to score in the game. Mike Bovee as well picking up a hit and an RBI in the contest. Luis Lara, I believe I saw, is the latest, looking to be the latest 2020 right now season in AA. If you go back to some of the AA pitchers, or rather players that have done that in their recent memory, here is the list right here. I went and found it just to make sure. Luis Lara, if he is going to be on the 2020 list of 20 doubles and 20 stolen bases, that is. Cole Young did it with Seattle. We haven't heard of him. Jackson Churio, however, did it in 2023. Jordan Lawler as well in 2023 with Arizona. Jordan Walker with St. Louis and Mason Wynn with St. Louis. All to do that a 2020 AA season before the age of 20. Luis Lara continuing to do great things in Biloxi. They will wrap things up with the Birmingham Barons today to close out their last series before the MLB All-Star break.
Wisconsin Timber Rattlers.
Timber Rattlers yesterday, they would take down the South Bend Cubs, and in that game we saw the 3-2 victory over the Timber Rattlers. Hedbert Perez went yard in the contest yesterday, as well as another name we haven't really gotten to mention too many times over the time here. Kalen Nicasia also had a home run. Switch hitter, 5'11", plays outfield. So for the Timber Rattlers so far this season, they have one more game to wrap things up as well with the South Bend Cubs.
Carolina Mudcats.
Carolina Mudcats back in action yesterday. They win 5-3. Luis Pena was 1 for 3 in the game. Jose Anderson went 1 for 4. We did not see Jesus Made play in this game, but Braylon Payne would call game. He had a walk-off bomb to give Carolina the victory.
Hero ready, the first pitch on Payne, a swing and a line drive, hit down the right field line, this ball is gone! Braylon Payne turns out the lights, and the Cardiac Cats have done it again!
Cardiac Cats did it again. I love the call there, the highlight courtesy of the Carolina Mudcats. Looking at some of the individual stats so far this season for Carolina as they pick up another victory over the Fredericksburg Nationals. They are now 48-35 on the season. Some numbers to look at here that I think are just awesome. If you look at the OPS for every Carolina Mudcat this season, Josh Adamczewski, who's on the way back, he's coming back with the Complex League. He's got a 989. Luis Pena, 870. Braylon Payne, 802. Jesus Made, 772. The team is just stacked. Eric Batanti, even 776 right now. Everyone can hit on this team. It's continuing to be an exciting low A team to follow this season. One more game for them to wrap things up before the All-Star break as well today against Fredericksburg.
Arizona Complex League Brewers.
Complex League yesterday, they would fall to the Complex League White Sox. Dominican Summer League, picking up a victory, rather. The blue team and the gold team falling to the Athletics. They now have one more game as well to wrap things up. Exciting time for sure for the Milwaukee Brewers as an organization. Carolina, Braylon Payne, what an electric finish yesterday. Going to be awesome to track them. And today is the MLB Draft Day. It is MLB Draft Day, and the Brewers will be picking 5 times today in the first round. It is pick number 20, pick number 32, pick number 59, pick number 68, and pick number 94. I apologize, they're not all first round picks, but that is all the picks the Brewers will make on day one. Pick number 20, pick number 32, number 59, number 68, and number 94. So we'll have all new prospects to talk about when we get back from our All-Star break here on the Leadoff Show. Should be an extremely exciting time. Pick number 20, you can find a stud right around that number for sure. I think Sal Frelick was sniffing around there. That's where you see a lot of different prospects going. And then that is a compensatory pick at pick number 32, I believe, for Willy Adames signing with the San Francisco Giants this offseason. This Building a Winner feature presented by Ironworkers Local 8, building Milwaukee's future one beam at a time. Coming up, we'll talk to Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports, thefanmilwaukee.com. He's going to join us even after Turnpike Troubadour performing at Harley Fest yesterday. Drew keeping in tabs with the Milwaukee Brewers. It is the Leadoff Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 up in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
What's the latest on the crew? Let's go inside the clubhouse with Drew Wagner of Forbes Sports on the Leadoff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Inside the clubhouse is brought to you by Focus Baseball. Sign your kids up now for July open tryouts at focusbaseball.com, ages 6 to 17.
Welcome back to the Leadoff Show. Tommy Wortz here with you, getting you caught up on all things Brewers Nationals. Before we get over to Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, let me run down Milwaukee's lineup one last time for you guys here today. Leading things off, it's Sal Frelick in right field. William Contreras is the DH batting second. Christian Yelich, the left fielder, will bat third. Jackson Chourio in center field bats fourth today. Bryce Terang at second base will bat fifth. Jake Bowers at first base bats sixth. Andrew Monasterio, the shortstop, batting seventh today. Eric Haas is catching, batting eighth. Anthony Siegler rounds things out. He is the third baseman, batting ninth. Joining the show now, as he does each and every leadoff show, you can find his work at Forbes Sports. Find him at The Fan Milwaukee. And, of course, his great Twitter that is @byAndrewWagner on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law Offices. It is Drew Wagner joining the show. Drew, how was Turnpike Troubadours yesterday, my friend?
It was amazing. It was amazing. It was a perfect night. Beautiful weather, beautiful sound, great crowd. But yeah, we're done with the almost famous weekend, and now we're back to ball striving. And yeah, looks like I missed the exciting game last night.
Well, Brandon Woodruff yesterday, 4 1/3, 10 strikeouts, doesn't get the eligibility for a win, but we talked about it a little bit beforehand. But now that it's past him, how big is that moment for Brandon Woodruff? We saw them talking to his wife on the broadcast. If you were watching on FanDuel Sports Network, she was very emotional about it. I mean, this has been a long road for Brandon Woodruff, and I know it's not his first start back, but it's the first start back at American Family Field, and you've talked about how great of a guy Woodruff is. How much do you think it just means to him to have that moment?
I think you can kind of tell just by how it went yesterday. I mean, it was an emotional day. And why not? This has been home to him and his family. This is where he came up. This is where he's been most of his adult life. These people, obviously, yeah, his wife and children were here, but these fans are like family to this guy. And I think it was a huge moment for him. I think it was a tough moment for him. How do you lock in situations like that? So I'm not surprised that he went kind of short there, because you're exerting a lot of energy, emotion, that kind of stuff. And then you go out and you whiff 10. Beautiful day for him. Couldn't be happier.
Yeah, it felt like that. You just couldn't be happier for the guys. Great way to put it, because yesterday you could tell it meant a lot to not only just Brandon Woodruff, but the Milwaukee Brewers organization. They even let him go out, take the mound by himself for a little bit so he could get his ovation. Really awesome day for Brandon Woodruff. It wasn't even really, again, it seems like the storyline gets lost there, because where do you want to go next? Andrew Vaughn or Caleb Durbin? Andrew Vaughn now 10 RBIs through his first 5 games. Drew, is this guy going to win NL Player of the Week this final week right here? Is anyone else hotter than Andrew Vaughn in Major League Baseball?
And he's really looking to be a good pickup right now, and it's coming at a perfect time. It's uncanny how it works sometimes. Sometimes dudes really just need to hit a reset button and see a different background and hear a different voice, and that seems to be the case.
And Caleb Durbin coming up clutch again yesterday.
Durbin, yeah.
Third walk-off of the season.
Does.
Yeah.
There's a reason that Pat Murphy has been gung-ho about this guy since they drafted him. This is like the perfect Pat Murphy player. Kind of like Sal Frelick in that regard. Just scrappy as hell, always getting his uniform dirty, always doing something, and more often than not, that something is something really clutch. Listen, everything is clicking for the Brewers right now. That's the best way to look at it. You can nitpick things here and there, but in the grand scheme of things, everything is clicking. Pitching, starting pitching, relief, defense, offense, power, on base, like all that little stuff is working right now.
Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports, joining the Leadoff Show. Follow him on Twitter @byAndrewWagner. Going into today's game, Drew, Freddie Peralta towing the slab for the Crew. He is their all-star from the beginning of this whole entire segment. He'll be in Atlanta, I believe, but Trevor McGill going to take his place. Freddie, before the all-star game now here, what do you think you're trying to do if you are one game away from this break and you are kind of the ace? I can't imagine today is leave it all out on the field because you have the break, but you got to find that happy medium between mailing it in because there's a huge break now after this game, and hey, there's a huge break after this game. Don't try to do anything crazy. What do you think Freddie Peralta's trying to go out there and do today with one game left before the break?
He's going to go out there and try and win. I mean, listen, there's a lot on the line today. You're one game back of going into this All-Star break potentially tied for the division lead. You can't control what happens in New York, obviously, but you got to do your part. You do your part. Cubs fall. You're going into the break tied. That is a huge, huge, huge moment. So yeah, I think they play this game, and I think Freddie has to go into it the same mindset that he's had every other start this season. Go in here and absolutely shove.
And what about manager Pat Murphy? Is this a day where everyone's available then out of the pen because you know you have a break coming up, maybe other than McGill, if you want to give him a day rest, if he wants to get some action tomorrow? Is this now like an all-in Pat Murphy game? Expect to see 7 guys get hot in the bullpen if everything's going the way they want it to? Pat Murphy, how does he manage with one game left before the break?
I mean, he kind of manages that way when they're in game 3 of a 17-17 stretch.
Yes.
I doubt anything's going to change today. And, you know, your bullpen's pretty rested. I know they burned through a lot of guys yesterday, but everyone pretty much got a day off the night before. You've got 4 days off coming up. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's available. I mean, listen, everyone in that room knows what the situation is. Everyone in that room wants to win this game today and give themselves a shot for first place.
How in tune is the manager in the MLB draft going on today, Drew? Maybe you could see it from how Pat Murphy has been, or over the years, any other manager. Like, how involved is the MLB manager in day one of the MLB draft?
Very little. There's very little. I mean, he obviously is attuned to it and is informed of it, but the scouting and drafting guys, I don't want to say there's like a separation of powers or like whatever, but the amateur guys and the professional guys, there's a separation to it because these guys are so far away from being on the big league radar that I don't want to say it's an afterthought, but it's, of all the things they have to worry about, that's probably not in the top 10.
I was wondering if that was the case because it seems like they're, at least 2 seasons away if they're at their absolute best in this first round here. And then now if everything goes perfectly, and I don't even know if Pat Murphy's going to want to manage in 2 years, right? He seems like a guy who wants to retire on the beach.
There's a reason why after these draft events, we hear from the director of amateur scouting. We don't hear from Matt Arnold and we don't hear from Pat Murphy. The amateur guys, listen, basically works as the amateur guys find the guys, get them into the system. Then your farm director, Tom Flanagan, takes over and kind of manages that stuff. And as they get higher up, that's when they start getting on the radar of the big league guys. It's a process. There's separation of powers in there. Obviously, everyone's on the same page and everyone's in communication, but the amateur scouting guys, Todd Johnson and his crew, pretty much handle this. The big league guys worry about the professional, high minor league stuff. And Murphy, he worries about the guys that are in the clubhouse. That's kind of how it works.
Drew Wagner, Forbes Sports. Follow him on Twitter @ByAndrewWagner. One last question before I get you out of here, Drew. It is the after the All-Star break I want to ask about, and that is the Crew right now, 6 in a row. You mentioned just 1 game back of the Cubs. They have the best record in baseball since May 25th, 30-12 now here. How much does an All-Star break mess up that rhythm, or does it help give guys an extra, a breather or rejuvenate? How does that All-Star break impact the Brewers after being this stretch since May 25th, now 30-12? Do you think it's something that could hurt or help the Brewers after the break?
It can only hurt. It can only help. I mean, listen, these guys, they're tired. They're doing this every day. They are banged up. They're beat up. Their bodies are sore. Their bodies are tired. And let's face it, their minds are tired at this point. Baseball is a grind. And I know what people are going to say, oh, they're playing a game. They're being paid millions. Great. Job is still a job. And it can be emotionally draining every single day to go out there and do that. So getting 4 days off to just get away from baseball, get back with their families, take a deep breath, go fishing, play golf, whatever. Just not deal with baseball for a few days. I mean, that's the best possible scenario. And nothing wrong with getting some rest before you have to go out to L.A. and face the Dodgers, who are going to be loaded for bear. They are pissed off about getting swept by the Brewers. They're going to be ready to go on Friday, and the Brewers have to be too.
Drew, you got any fun plans over the All-Star break? You going to try to take a break from baseball and maybe go canoeing? What's on the docket for the next few days here, my friend?
I'm going to be building a fence for the next 2 days. Then I'm going down to Chicago to do some tool journalism. So, there's no All-Star break.
I need a separate page on Forbes Sports just called Tool Journalism, and Drew Wagner is the director of operations for that. Drew, enjoy the All-Star break. We'll talk to you on Mason Crosby's show and, of course, Wisconsin Sports Daily throughout the week. But have a good little few days off away from baseball. We'll talk again soon, my friend, all right?
Take care. We'll see you soon.
There he is, Drew Wagner. Follow him on Twitter, @byAndrewWagner. Forbes Sports. You can find his work also at thefanmilwaukee.com. Little Sunday standings for you here, just as Drew was bringing it up. Chicago Cubs, 56-39. It is the best record in the NL Central. However, the Milwaukee Brewers, 55-40, just one game back. St. Louis is 50-46, 6.5 games back. Cincinnati, 49-47. 4 teams above 500 in the NL Central right now, and they're 7.5 games back of the Cubs. The Pirates, 20 games under 500, however, 38-58, find themselves at the bottom part of the NL Central. Best record in the National League belongs to the LA Dodgers. They are 57-39, just a half game up on the Cubs. The Brewers, a game and a half back away from the best record in baseball, if you put the math in it that way. San Diego is 52-43. San Francisco, 52-44. Arizona Diamondbacks are 46-50. Colorado, all the way at the bottom, 22-73. And in the NL East, the New York Mets are 55-41. Phillies, 54-41. 43-51 for Miami. Atlanta is 12 back, 42-52. Washington, who the Brewers are currently taking on, 38-57. Just a quick look at the American League in case you're interested. Best record in baseball belongs to the Detroit Tigers. They are 59-37 atop the AL Central by 11.5 games. Over in the AL East, Toronto 2 games up on the Yankees. They are 55-40, and Houston 6 games up in the NL West. A lot less close over on the American League side. Houston is 56-39.
How does the crew win today's game? Who needs to step up? Let's find out with the keys to the game. It's the LeadOff Show, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Keys to the game. It is what we go over at the end of every single LeadOff show. Quite frankly, a win is great. Win by all means necessary, but also just keep everyone in good shape during the All-Star break here. We're going to be back on Friday with the LeadOff show. 4 days off in a row from Brewers baseball. All-Star game, if you're interested, it's going to have Trevor McGill and Jacob Mizorowski hopefully participating in the game, while Freddie Peralta also named to the All-Star game. Starting pitchers in those games, one in the division, Paul Skeens of Pittsburgh will start going up against Tariq Skubal of Detroit. Obviously, it'll just be one inning back and forth from there. But today's keys to the game, really just making sure you get through it. Everyone wants to see it. Leave it all out on the line for one more game here. And then you get 4 days off from that mental and physical break that Drew Wagner was talking about. That's going to do it for us here on the LeadOff show. We'll be back on Friday. It's a little bit later because we're on the West Coast, of course. Brewers going at the Dodgers. Enjoy the next 4 days off after today of Brewers baseball. I will miss it dearly. It is the LeadOff show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Don't forget, send them home.